Strong language is used in this video and on this channel. You have been warned.
Welcome back, viewers. This is Captain of Industry, Episode 3. When we left off, I just started kind of designing our factory here. And I realized, after the fact, that I had set the wrong recipe on these as I was doing my editing. This should be CP1. These will be CP2. So, with that in mind, the fact that we're going to build the factory up here, because it's closer to our primary resources, namely limestone. Everything else we kind of have down here. And we've got plenty of coal. We've got oil, we've got copper, and we've got plenty of iron that we spent all this time building this stupid bridge to make. However, the transit time to our limestone mountain up here is going to be utterly ridiculous. So it doesn't serve us to build the factory down here, as we went over in the last episode. So because at this point, we don't really need to bring anything to our settlement here. Oh, and we're still running on crazy, ridiculous speed. So really the only thing we need to bring here is food. We did research water, but we can automate that. For the most part, our trucks are going to be needed for mining and moving stuff around the factory. There's not too much that needs to go to the settlement right now. So it's not going to hurt us too badly to put our factory up here. So we're going to plan ahead a little bit here because I've done this before and I know what the recipes are going forward. So for example, and you can find this in the codex, you can right click on anything in the game. So for instance, you want to know what wood gets used for, you can just right click on it and it'll tell you right here everything that particular commodity gets used for. But in planning to go forward, we want to try. This game does kind of force you to tear down and rebuild. However, we want to do that as few times as we can get away with. So we're going to plan this current factory to basically run through CP4. And hopefully we won't have to rebuild it until after we have construction parts for it. So for CP3, all you have to do is add steel. For CP4, all you do is add electronics too. So what we can do is we can just kind of copy, hit C, we can just kind of copy this here, and we'll just drop it on top of our existing setup. It won't replace these because there's already something there. And actually that doesn't work because that isn't what I wanted to do. I got entirely too clever. Okay, that's fine. We can fix that. So what I want to do is I don't want to have two storages over here for steel because that's twice as many trips that trucks need to make. If I just have one storage that feeds both CP1 and CP3, because eventually CP1 we're going to convert from iron to steel. So we're just going to build one storage that will supply both of them. The trick to doing this is I've constructed this in such a way that I can't do what I normally do. Because as I said, I've gotten too clever for myself, which happens fairly frequently, unfortunately. So we've got we've got a couple of options here. We can admit defeat and that we screwed up, which is probably the right thing to do. Or we can try and be clever and weasel another conveyor belt through here. I don't really want to do that, so we're going to admit defeat and that we screwed up. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit X to cut. Just follows your standard Microsoft commands. We're going to take these and we're going to move everything one factory space that way. Delete that. And then we will place this conveyor belt real quick. That doesn't really need to be a connector anymore. That can just be a regular conveyor. Not that it really matters in the end, but you know, I want my factory to be reasonably aesthetic as well as functional. So we're going to do the same thing up here. We're going to move everything one factory space that way. Of course, it won't let me do it. Replace those with connectors, same deal. And then we will do the same thing up here, except we're going to screw it up because that's what we do. All right, so we're not going to set a recipe on this yet because this is going to be CP3. These will also be CP3, but we don't have that yet, so we can't flag it for that. The game won't let you flag anything for recipes that you don't have yet, and commodities that you don't have yet, which is understandable, but also annoying when you're trying to plan ahead. We're just going to fix all of these belts that we interrupted. Come on, go down. All right, good as new. And now what we can do is we're going to take this out, and we're going to put a lift in here. Whoops, need that to go up another layer. There we go. And now we get up to level 2 without the inconvenience of having to have the ramp. The downside is that it costs you a little bit of power and a little bit of maintenance. Once we get up to the point where we have nuclear power, that's not as big of a concern anymore. But the reason I'm doing this is because I want to separate my eventual steel feed to CP1 and CP3. I don't want them running off of the same belt because that will get overloaded very easily. I'm just going to run that right in there. And just like that, we now have one storage that feeds both sets of assemblers. I'm going to pause that because in case we accidentally build it, we don't want it to actually send resources that. Why are you? Oh, right. Because I'm an idiot. That's why. Okay, never mind. We're going to fix that. Like I said, it has to be aesthetic as well as functional. And I don't like those bumps in conveyor belts. They look sloppy to me. Back that off by one space. Go down. Why are you being this way? Oh, because I have belt snapping turned off. That's why. And also because I'm blind. Good God. Come on, get it right. Belt snapping. There we go. Nice smooth corner right into the belt. Then we will do the exact same thing one more time. Except we will take that piece out, put this piece back in, And this will eventually be electronics too. All right. So we now have a factory that is built to support all the way up to CP4. Nice and easy. These assemblers will need to get replaced because by the time we build CP4, obviously we're not going to be using assembly ones anymore. But everything is pre-planned. All the space is designated. We have what will eventually be our roadway here. The other thing that I like to do, I don't have it yet. I know other people, I don't know what people actually build for factories in this game because, quite frankly, I don't watch anybody else play this game. I don't. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's that I don't want watching other people to influence what I design. The last thing I want is to come on here and show you the exact same thing that somebody else is building. That just it's a bad look. First of all, that you're knocking off somebody else's design. And it's just, I don't know. For me, it's kind of just a poor practice in general. So, long way of saying that I don't know what other people are building in this game because I don't watch them. Yeah. But anyway, the whole point of that was that these are eventually going to be, I don't have the recipe yet, these will eventually be making rail parts because they use 2 of the same 3 components that feed CP1. I just tie them onto the end of the line. And some people may build more assemblers than this for construction parts. I find that for the most part, this suits my playstyle fairly well. I do not go through this game guns blazing. I go through it pretty slowly compared to a lot of people, I feel. At least looking on Reddit, it seems like other people, within days, maybe weeks of Update 3 launching, they had already gotten to space and were, building fast breeder reactors and going nuts. I still haven't gotten to space in Update 3. I have the technology unlocked. I just haven't built the economy to support it yet. My main game that I play offline that you guys don't see has, I think I just unlocked Nuclear Power 2 because I dragged ass on setting up a nuclear reactor for freaking ever. And basically I got to the point where I needed to start conserving coal, so I finally bit the bullet and set it up. Nuclear power is also hella complicated in this game. There's lots of byproducts and other shit you need to deal with, and yeah, it's a mess. So I don't think... Oh, I do have logistic zones. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to set... Oh, I don't have them yet. Fuck a duck. When do I get those? Not for a while. Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about that then. I was going to set up logistic zones, one for the settlement and one for the factory, but we're just going to have to, unfortunately, bite the bullet and deal with trucks driving back and forth a lot until we get those logistic zones. So we are, looks like we're maxed out on construction parts at the moment. I don't know where the hell all of those are. That's not even full. I don't know where the other 75 parts are. Oh, hey, whatever. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? So, let us... We're also going to move tree harvesting up here, too. So let's... Actually, you know what? We've already got the wood storage there, so let's not worry about that too much. Let's just tell it to start chopping down some trees. Actually, you know what? Don't worry about those yet. Get those. Clear me out. Nope, changed my mind again. Get those. Clear me out some space around the limestone hill here. Clear me out some space around iron and the coal. And copper is just here at ground level, so I'm not too concerned about that. We can get that without chopping down any trees. But that will move the tree harvesters up here. The problem is that our fuel refining is all the way down here. And these trucks are like toddlers. They have no common sense, right? They're very literal about pretty much everything, and they're idiots, is what it comes down to. They're absolute idiots. So we're going to get rid of these things because we don't need them. We'll unpause you because I can use you. And what we're going to do is, I don't think I can build a fuel. How are there? Oh, because I didn't clear the mining designations. That's why. Okay, that'll make that go away. That. Okay. So I can't build a fuel station yet until I have construction parts 2. I don't like these yellow dots. They distract me. So yeah, I need CP2 to build a fuel station. However, I can build a fluid storage. And that will work the same as a fuel point. So if we put that there, tell it to be diesel, keep it full. My fuel stations I put as priority 5. And we will Unity build that. While that's going on, we're going to set up, if I can click on the right button, we're going to set up our mining up here. Yeah, I told them to cut down those trees, so that's fine. I'll give me space there. Shower, ore sorter, and I'll worry about storages for that later. That'll take care of limestone. The iron comes out quite a bit away from the hill, and I don't want to build on top of it because I don't want to have to tear this down and replace it later. It does not matter where you put the mine tower, okay? You can move this wherever the hell you want, all over the map. Doesn't matter where you put it. It is helpful to keep it by the mine so that if trucks can't deliver whatever they're carrying, they will go to the mine tower. So if you put the mine tower on the other side of the map, your trucks are going to drive the other side of the map anytime they get jammed up. So there are consequences to not putting it by the mine, but they're not the worst consequences in the world as long as you're prepared for them. We're going to do the same thing here. Build an ore sorter. You know what? We'll just copy that and we'll put it over here. Have it copied all the settings too. So this is going to be coal mine. This is going to be coal sorting plant. We will need to sort coal, dirt, rock, which is right in front of me, and iron, because these deposits are mixed, which is very annoying. Similarly over here, this is going to be iron sorting plant, and it will need iron, dirt, rock, and coal, because again, the deposits are mixed, and I don't want the trucks to get stuck because they don't have a place they can take the ore. So technically right now, these guys can use each other's sorting plants if they need to. It's not ideal. I want each plant primarily focused on one thing, Because what I did in my other run was I ran both of these mines through one ore sorter. And what happens is it jams friggin' constantly. So the reason that I name all of these things is so that when something throws errors at me, I know where it is. Because if you don't rename it, it just comes up as mine control tower, and it could be friggin' anywhere, which is not helpful. So it takes a little bit of time to do it, but I find value in it at least. Right, we are going to Unity build both of these. Actually, let's get this one too if we can. Nope, we ran out of parts. Just a little bit shy. All right, set this up while we wait. Limestone, dirt, and rock. We will name it limestone sorting plant. And this will be, come on, limestone mine. All right. Nope, still waiting on construction parts. So, actually, I know how we can get those construction parts. So, this this setup that we built is perfectly serviceable for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down this mine. And we're going to go up here. We're going to assign, I already put an excavator in here with 2 trucks. I'm going to put an excavator in here with 2 trucks. And then, I don't know, yep, I'm going to put an excavator in here with 2 trucks. So we are now mining all of, well, once I set mining designations, we will be mining all of our critical resources to get going. There's enough trees on this map. I'm not terribly worried about taking out a couple through mining. I'm more concerned about let's get the resources going. I have to tweak that a little bit. And give you some a big old thing of dirt there that we're going to have to get through first. So it'll be a little bit before we get any limestone. But that's okay. All right. So now everybody's nice and happy. They have things to do. They have trucks assigned. We just need to get our remaining parts to build that ore sorter. Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of. We don't need this anymore. We may come back and start mining here someday when we need more iron, but we're not going to worry about it now. This we will let run for the time being. Go away. This we will let run for the time being because I want to clean up the ore that's in here. We can use it to continue getting iron while we're swipping. Way to go. Let's invent some words. While we're swapping over to the new mine. Why are you not? So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my priority on each of these excavators. And I want their priority to be whatever they are supposed to be mining. There's my excavator. Somewhere in these woods. Oh, there he is. I got him. He's out of fuel. They haven't brought any fuel up here yet. Why not? What are you guys doing? That's full. What's going on over here? That's empty. Okay. So this here shows how much of these resources have already been allocated, and there's a truck on the way to get it. Is this gray bar underneath? The question is that going where I think it's going? Or am I getting too clever for myself? Okay, so we've got a solid bar underneath here. So they are coming to fill this. It's just going to take a while. Right, we have our parts for this, so we're going to build this ore sorter. And then we're going to set up some storages on these ore sorters. Unfortunately, all we can build right now are crappy tier 1 storages. Oh, I didn't want to copy, I wanted to cut. But, you know, it'll get better in time. So it bugs me that I can't center this. Annoys my OCD. But I'll have to live with it, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and connect all of these, even though we can't build it yet. Because quite frankly, we need something to do while we're waiting for all the trucks to drive up here. Now we'll just copy this. I didn't set anything on the storages. I can line it up right. You hold shift while you place something, it will keep it on your cursor. If you don't hold shift, it goes away. So now we want to look at our ports. We've got limestone, dirt, rock, and nothing. So I'm going to set our storages. Limestone. All of these are going to be keep empty. Dirt. Not going to set priorities on them right now because it's not needed. Rock. We're going to do that to all 3 ore sorters, except these. Double check. Iron, dirt, rock, coal. Yep. So iron, dirt. Oh, keep empty. Screwed it up. Rock. And coal. Somewhat like rock and roll, but not quite. Oh, so I can't copy that on mass, can I? Nope. Okay, we'll do it the hard way. And this one should be backwards. This should be coal, coal, dirt, rock, iron. Yep. Now, I could just ignore these and they would auto set themselves when the resource entered it. But again, I'm not going to have these conveyor belts for a while because I need construction parts too for that, and I don't have them yet because I'm busy conducting this massive shift of my entire base up there rather than expanding right away. If I had accepted that ridiculous drive for the limestone and just kind of focused on building my base here, we'd probably be further along. But again, you know, I'm not friggin' Speedy Gonzalez here either. So who's to say? You know, we might be in exactly the same place that we are now, no matter what I had done. All right. So at the moment, we're just kind of waiting for construction parts, which we do have some. So I'm kind of torn on what I want to do. Or rather what I want to build first. I'm just going to copy this design, and we're going to move it up here by this iron mine. Because once we run out of ore down there, this is where our smelting is going to take place. Actually, let's move that a little further away so I've got room for the storages. So while I'm going to turn the speed up on this so it'll progress a little bit more while we're waiting. And while we're doing this, I will put the storages on this array. Plenty of space for conveyor belts. Need slag, iron, and coal. This one's pretty simple as far as belting things in goes. They get a lot more complicated from here on out. My main game that I'm running, I have to belt in iron or crushed iron ore, limestone, graphite tubes, water, and remove exhaust and slag, as well as depleted steam. So you end up connecting a lot of crap to these things as you progress through the game. So we're going to do this in a fairly simple way. Because I don't... Did I screw that up? I did. I'm a muppet. All right, that's fine. We'll do it this way. Does not matter. And I'm going to have to use a lift for the slag because... No, I don't. I'll just move this. No, don't snap to that. Snap to the furnace. There you go. All right. So we built this handy-dandy thing here, which screwed up our entire process by having conveyor belts connected to the blast furnace. Oh, man, I didn't want to do that. Go back on there. So we're going to leave those off for now, because that obviously screws up our process. These should still allow import, because nothing's going to come in on these. But we will keep an eye on it to make sure that it doesn't do anything shady. What are you doing? He's going to drive all the way back there to get fuel. Dude, there's fuel right there. Oh, I've got export turned off. That's probably why. Can I short circuit your decision making here? I can. Fantastic. Cool. That'll save some time. That fuel point is still further away than I want it to be from the mines. That will serve later on as a kind of, for lack of a better term, an in-town fuel point for the trucks that are running around the factory area delivering stuff. It's sort of convenient for the limestone mine, but not really. It's still further than an excavator should drive. So we need to focus on getting construction parts 2 so that we can build a fuel station. Because right now, our vehicles are doing stupid things that we don't want them to do. So I'm going to repurpose you, and you're going to build construction parts 2 now. Congratulations, you've been promoted. Why are you... Oh, because it keeps full. That's why. They can't export. Well, I need to get manufacturing moved up here as quickly as I can. I've got 150. So let's build the wood storage here so that once our tree harvester gets up here, it can, they'll have a local place to drop the wood, and the trucks aren't driving all the way back. That'll save us some fuel there. You're busy doing whatever the hell you're doing. Yeah, don't go for the coal. Just keep scooping up that dirt, Muppet. Okay, so the other thing we need to do is we need to designate a dumping ground up here, because I don't want the trucks driving all the way down there to dump stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a mining tower that has no other purpose than to control dumping. I don't mean the toilet kind of dumping. I'm not 12. So this is dumping control. I don't want waste up here because it's too far from the settlement, but you can dump anything else: rock, dirt, slag, whatever. And what will happen is I'll Unity build that because I definitely don't want anybody bringing construction parts up here. That's what I was going to say. I'm going to set export routes from the tower start, because if the truck, we have ore sorting turned on. So if the truck gets a mixed load that has something useful in it, like iron ore, coal, copper, limestone, whatever the hell you're actually mining for, if it picks up that, it has to go to the ore sorter to get it out. If it just has a load of, say, rock and dirt, and it can dump that, it can just drive over here and dump it. So that will save some work through the ore sorter. I'm also going to set export routes on each of these so that they have a designated place to dump their crap. Now you can leave these with no export routes and just set an unregulated dumping area and hope that the trucks will take it there. And that will work, but it removes kind of a layer of control. And as the game progresses, for example, once we start making concrete, we need gravel. The only real way to get gravel is to crush rock. Well, my only source of rock is from mining, unless I go and dig a specific rock mine, which is just kind of ridiculous. Because as long as you're actively mining, you should be producing enough rock. You can also do it with crushed slag, which that becomes my go-to option later in the game. But for now, I don't know. Maybe we'll use slag from the get-go here and see how it goes. But at any rate, at a certain point in the game, specifically once you start getting into nuclear, you need rock because it makes hydrogen fluoride, and you want your rock to go to storages primarily instead of being dumped. So setting your export routes, trucks will automatically, just as part of it. Do you seriously just drive up here, run out of fuel, and drive back? You motherfucker. All right. Stop wasting your time and wasting my fuel. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay. Let's get rid of you. Let's build another fluid storage. Sure, I'm not putting it on any resources. Right here. It will again be diesel. Keep it full. Priority 5. And build it. Because these guys are getting jack shit done for mining because all they're doing is driving back and forth to the fuel point. So, hiccup number 1. We can't get anything done because our trucks are stupid. But that's nothing new. What are you doing? You probably don't have any coal because I took all the tree harvesters away. Where are my tree harvesters? Tree harvester, where are you? They are headed north. Okay. Yep. So Congratulations. All of you are now useless. You can go away. Well, I don't know why you don't have coal when there's a whole bin of it right there. I was hoping we'd work through all of this iron ore, but I guess it is not to be. Clear out all of these ghosts here. Ah, fuck. Cancel. Rebuild it. I missed. All right. And then that can just kind of run merrily along and do its thing. Why are you not full? Actually, that's going to... That may be a problem. Um, let's... Before I work myself into a corner here, let's do... There is an oil deposit right here. I happen to know this is a very large oil deposit too. I started up on this beach here in my main game, and this deposit is like 1,000,000 oil. Yeah, so this will last us for a good long time. I didn't have to get an oil rig in my other game until I was uh I definitely already had construction parts for. Um, yeah, it lasted me well into the mid game before I had to bother with imports, which is good because it saves you on fuel, it saves you on Unity. So we're going to move refining up here. Oh, once I unpause the game because I'm an idiot. So we're going to move oil refining up there. And we'll just pause all of this stuff down here because I do want to extract this deposit, but it's a lower priority. We can use this to supply the trucks down here, and we'll use the other one to supply the trucks up there. So we just need a second source of diesel so that we're not wasting a shit ton of it delivering diesel up there. Also, because we're not going to have any coal down here, it's going to be very problematic to produce diesel. Now, I can get coal because there's a whole pile of it right here. I just have to build a mine and an ore sorter. But that's not my priority right now. I want my factory up and running because I can't do anything until I am reliably and consistently producing construction parts. All right, where is that Muppet excavator? There he is. All right, so I want you to go over there. But I'm going to wait until there's fuel in that tank to unpause you. Hey, go over there. Apparently you can't give them move orders when they're paused. I did not know that. I don't manually move trucks that often. I do it with trains a bit more. What? Nope. Mother, come back here. There's a big bucket of fuel right there. Use it, you idiots. Ah, because I have logistics turned off. Someday I will learn. Someday. Not today, but someday. That disable logistics on placing buildings is screwing me so hard. All right, so now our excavators can actually get work done because they're not driving all over the back of Beyond just to get fuel, drive back, turn around, and go get more fuel. So now we might actually get something done. I'm going to shoot back down here real quick. Check on what's going on here, which is still a whole lot of nothing. I think all of our coal went over there to produce diesel. Looks like it. So normally I would probably leave this here. Are you going to drive that? Okay. I thought he was going to take that all the way up north for some reason, but I forgot I haven't actually built that furnace yet. So I was hoping we'd work through all of this iron ore, but I mean, there's a crap ton of it that they haven't even sorted yet. And we just don't have the coal capacity to get through that. So I'm going to let this run. Actually, it's out of coal now. So let's just admit defeat. We will bulldoze this entire setup. You know what? You guys can go away too, because I want the construction parts. And I do have CP2. Fantastic. Okay, so what that means is our first construction parts 2 we're going to use to build a motherfucking fuel station. I'm going to go make sure I'm not putting it on resources. Oh, we're good. It's going to go right the fuck there. Attach it right to that fuel tank. Build, assign a truck. And our excavators will now be refilled in place as long as this has fuel, which is awesome. However, we need some more excavators. But what I also need, I'm going to slow this down. I need construction parts coming in. To do that, I need to build. How can it possibly be out of fuel? I just built it. Oh, because I didn't build the pipe. Because I'm a dumbass. All right. So we've got wood. Never mind. That sounded a lot less dirty in my head. We have a storage full of resources, is what I mean. But we need our concrete, which, if I remember correctly, we have very little. Where is my... Where the hell is the rest of my base? There it is. Okay, so our concrete is gone. So the only way we're getting concrete right now is to trade for it. We've used that all up. So our main focus right now needs to be, let's get concrete production running. Because without concrete production, we have no construction parts. So where are you? You have nothing but dirt. And there's no trucks up here to empty it. My trucks are overloaded. And I have no friggin' vehicle parts. Cool. I have worked myself into a corner again. Good job. Okay. You're making electronics. Weren't you? Yeah, you're supposed to be making vehicle parts. And I never turned on the logistics. What the hell is wrong with me? All right. Well, we need more excavators and more trucks. We don't even have enough parts to make a truck. That is a problem. We have some on the ship, but the ship cannot unload itself. I don't care about dirt. That can go away. The ship can't unload itself because I have too much crap in the shipyard. All right. Well, we do have cement. And cement means that we don't actually need limestone right now. Because if you look at the recipe, you need cement, sand or manufactured sand, gravel, or crushed slag. However, I need 30 construction parts too to make a concrete mixer, which is problematic. turn that to can export, because that will increase the size of the buffer. That will allow it to build more construction parts too. And in the meantime, can I trade for vehicle parts? Probably not. No, I cannot. All right, we're just going to have to be patient, because I'm great at that. Send our ship out to go do something. What is... Yeah, and everybody's full, because all the trucks are down here, busy doing whatever the hell trucks do. Let's clean that up. Why are you not... Oh, you're not producing fuel because... Because why? Oh, because there's no friggin' belt there. Because I'm an idiot. Let's just hook this up, because that will reduce our reliance on trucks. And it can make that last little bit of diesel it can make with the coal. And then we'll just pause everything. But we really do need some more trucks. We are hurting right now. Hopefully, you're doing nothing. Why are you not... Oh, because I never set any dumping designations. That's why, because I'm an idiot. There you go. Go forth and make me land. Hopefully, there should now be some trucks headed that way. There you go. They're going over there. There you go. Why is nobody headed north to go empty all of my shitty ore sorters? What are you... I have idle trucks. I do have idle trucks. Okay, I am confused. I swear to God, if the logistics are turned off on the friggin' ore sorters, which they are, my fucking God. You know, for the amount of trouble it causes me, I should probably go turn that setting off. It's not in there. It's in here. Okay. The amount of times I have screwed myself by turning that on. Holy God. All right, we are coming down to the end of our time here. And on the surface, it may look like we haven't actually accomplished much, which would be fair to say. However, we have established our mines, our ore sorters are built, and we are working our way towards hopefully getting some resources out of these things. We've got a little bit of coal, not much, and it's drowning in rock and dirt. But, as you can see, we are now finally exporting stuff and getting rid of it. Our next priority needs to be, let me build this properly. Our next priority needs to be producing fuel up here, because we're not producing fuel anywhere right now. My Unity's full. I'm going to Unity build that. I still have a decent amount of construction parts. Oh, but as we went over, we can't Unity build oil pumps because reasons. And we found some more stuff. Hooray. Go explore. That's just whining that the ore sorters are full and there's nothing I can do about it right now. The trucks are working on it. That's really all I can give you, man. The trucks are working on it. How many? You've got two. You've got two. Okay. I guess that's fair. That's how many trucks you should have. All right, so as I was saying, it may look on the surface like we haven't actually accomplished much. However, I would dispute that we have. We have now worked our way entirely through our tier 0 research. So we will need to upgrade to the next level of lab, which we'll do up by our factory, because that's where pretty much everything that it needs is going to be built. And from there, we get to research higher levels of stuff. We'll finally get our logistics zones. That'll help us keep the settlement and the factory separate. It'll give us a little bit more of a headache in the process, but it's fine. We'll get through it. All right, we've established our dumping zone. I'm going to build basically a big ass pier. I'm going to fill in this whole little inlet here with dirt, rock, slag, whatever. I'll level out this mountain once I have the resources to build a terraforming crew. So the big thing right now, like I said, is getting diesel up and running so that our mines keep going so that we can finally build this factory. Now I have the parts. I could probably put a pretty decent dent into building this factory. And on the surface, that's not a terrible idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trade for some concrete because I got plenty of wood. Yes, that's what she said. And we found some corn. Fantastic. Yeah. So I'm going to buy some concrete so that we can keep making construction parts. The concrete will come in right here. We just need a truck to bring it over there. We are getting some CP2s. I could plant a concrete mixer down here. The problem is that what I really need right now, above all, is vehicle parts, because I need more trucks. That is my main goal in life right now. Really? Got that many bloody potatoes? Okay. You know what? Let's take out one growth cycle per farm. See where that gets us. All right, we are pretty much at an hour. So hopefully next episode we can actually get this factory built and running. We're not far off. We just need to get diesel going, get concrete going, and then we're going to build the factory. I know I've said that like 3 times now, but hey, repetition is good for you, right? Helps you remember shit. And now we're jammed up here too. So yeah, really we need more trucks. We need more trucks up here emptying dirt and other crap. Okay. No, I need to stop. Let's pause the game so that I stop, because otherwise I will keep fiddling with this and we'll be here for 6 hours. All right. So next episode, concrete, diesel, then the factory. I have been raving madly. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.